Welcome back to another episode of Greatest as Let's Play series, Season 1. Where did we leave things? I think we left them with our electric hammer. And there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about in that one. Electric hammer is great. It's certainly very, very useful. Haven't quite got it to recharge automatically yet. Anyway, electric hammer is great. But 10,000 EU is not a great amount in the grand scheme of things. It's going to be, maybe, 10 hits of a 3x3. And we want a lot more than that. At the moment, we're wearing a jetpack for most of the time, but because we're using IC2, we can use another item. It's called a Batpack. We'll be using the advanced version, I think. Similar to, as an alternative, by the way, if you're going with thermal expansion first, you can do the other recipe for an electric hammer, which will change this to RF. And there's a special machine you can put it in called an energetic infuser, I believe. I'll probably show that later because I'm going to build out the thermal expansion side too. So once we get into an energetic infuser, I'll probably build another hammer, wear it down a bit, and then obviously add the right ingredients to make it electric. So that's good. First of all, let's build our backpack, or see if we've got enough resources for it in the first place. So there are two versions. Simple version is much cheaper, obviously. 6 batteries, a circuit, and a bit of wood. Very, very cheap. But there's only 6 times the amount of the hammer in this backpack. So that might get you 60 blocks. We want more than that. Advanced Batpack is 600,000 EU. So that is, in fact, yeah, it's 10 times the other one. So this is going to need a lot of bronze. A lot of bronze. And let's see how much iron we've got, because we're going to need more patterns. And I've got a feeling, yeah, we're running low on iron again. Okay, yeah. Right, so let's see if we have enough. Well, we only have enough for one. So I'm going to need to go mine. Fair enough. Whoops. Let's see what recipes we have. We don't really have anything to do with advanced batteries yet, so we really kind of need to teach them that recipe. So yeah, this is the recipe we want. I think we have everything else. I've already taught it to casings upstairs, and maybe not this one, but there's only one of them in here, so that's fine. So let's just encode that. And I'm going to need a circuit, which is going to need iron. Probably be out of that. Yeah. So let's just tell it to build some of these batteries first. And then I can go mine and come back. There we go. So all the machines on the top floor should now activate. There we go. It's making the casings. And I get rid of that. We need lead dust, which we can easily get from lead. And we've got plenty of that. So for now, I could rate the recipe, but I'm short of iron, so if I just drop this in, it should drop into the system as lead dust, which I don't have, luckily, a recipe for down here to process. One thing you're going to have to watch out for, if you need dust like iron dust, for example, because these have recipes, inputs for iron dust. If you try and create it in the machines upstairs, it's just going to get pulled straight into those machines. So if you need to, if you're going to make something manually, just remove the ejector upgrade temporarily, and that'll work just fine. Yeah, it's only missing one now. And that should complete in a second. There's one gone. And it's continuing. Right, off for more iron, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we should have enough materials now. Let's just tell it to make a circuit. which hopefully shouldn't take it too long. There's the iron. In the meantime, backpack. So we've got all the pieces apart from the circuit. So and there it is. Advanced Batpack. Now, obviously we can't share this with our jetpack, so we're going to have to switch them out. No big deal, really. Again, I'll set this automatic thing up in a probably off camera. But just like anything else, you can shift click it in and watch it charge. It charges quite quickly. The downside of the thermal expansion hammer, is that it can charge fairly slowly. But the upside is that you don't have this. Yeah, maybe I'd let that recover. The upside is you don't have this new requirement for an extra item. You can just use the hammer on its own. Okay, so what we do with that is just remove our jetpack, add this, and then head downstairs. If I show you, first of all, that's just the wall. So if I use this once without the backpack, see how its charge drops quite considerably down to 80% there at least. If I put the backpack on, what should happen is it should take it from the backpack itself rather than the hammer. So if I continue, iron, which I want, you'll notice the hammers recharge itself from the backpack, and we can just keep going. No more durability loss now, unless you run out of power, and then it will take durability loss. And we can get always pick up sets of quartz. We can get lots and lots of materials now with an electric hammer. And this is what I was talking about. When you're mining, if you see this, it's endstone. It'll surround a hive, I imagine. Let's just double check that in a second once I get rid of some of this cobblestone. Yeah, see, there we go. So if you come across this really early, there's the hive, the Oblivion hive. And it looks like we've got an infernal hive right next door. We do, which means we've got more glowstone. And glowstone, without going to the nether, is always nice. So whenever you find this, yeah, just go mine all the endstone. It's cheaper than using glowstone to infuse sandstone or whatever it was, that recipe that we did. And if it's an early stage of the game, it's also a lot easier just to collect it. And that is a lot of lapis. And since I just got some glowstone, let's show you how to make those improved item ducts we were talking about before. If you remember down here, these are really quite slow. And I believe we've already built obviously the magma crucible, fluid transposer. Those are the items we're going to need, I think, if I remember rightly. See in a second. Let's just get rid of all this. Yes, I'll have to set it up again, but it's not so big a deal. And let's just upgrade our items. So in here we put the fluid transposers. And let's go and see how much of this we need. Inputs. Okay, 200 millibuckets. So let's see how many we get. Let's try and put 2 in. There's 1. So it looks like we're at 500 for 2. So 250 per one of these. And we need 8, which is 1600. So we kind of need, yeah, we're not going to get an even number without changing this. So 6 by 250 should get us most of them done. And do I actually have any more? I have lots. Oh, in fact, that was a really even number. Okay, problem sorted. I really must get the math right. Anyway, just like before, should really upgrade this. Yeah, never mind. Maybe next episode. So, set this up as we did before. 2 servos. We want to set this one to output. And we're going to tell it all the time. And on to whitelist, use NBT, use metadata, blacklist. Okay. So let's start with our wrench. Is that wrench full? It's not. Okay, let's fill it first. Fine. So we're going to whitelist full, blacklist full, and then we want it to head back in here. There we go. So servo, whitelist full, doesn't really matter which way around you do these, really. Except this one, you definitely do need to tell it to whitelist only the full. Yeah, we don't want. Yeah, whitelist should be fine for this actually. Yeah, there we go. So let's see how fast this actually works. Do we have a machine we can use this on? Yeah, I don't actually need these much anymore. I've got most of the stuff upstairs, so for the moment, I could get rid of them, but let's get rid of you. Why are you not using EU? That's a bug. Anyway, it's not full anymore, so fine. Make sure to put this back in. Don't want it to blow up. In you go. There it went. Straight in. Back up. There we go. That's how fast it is with impulse Eisen ducts. The much, much better version of the originals. I'll leave that exposed for now. I need to sort some of the other things out. So I've never really been happy with this outdoors, but we haven't really had space indoors until now. So I'm going to move all of this indoors into a new spot downstairs. So I've got all the pieces down into my processing room. down into the farming level, and down into where I want to put the smeltery. Now, typically, you can build this quite tall, so I may need to move it down again if I build it even taller than it is at the moment, because if I look on the next level up, here's my staircase, so I've got to be a little bit careful with it. But for the size at the moment, it should be quickly and easily accessible. However, what I'm going to do is start creating a new type of glass, I think, and it's called smooth glass. My tank I want to put on this side actually this time around, and my controller, I'll put it here for now. Thankfully the tank retains all the lava. Yes, it does. Good. So temporarily I'm just going to clear out everything around here, because instead of the walls that I typically use, these, we're going to be needing more drains. Now that's going to be pretty straightforward for some things. Let's head upstairs. We've got plenty of those seared bricks, you see, so if I create that, we should have plenty of drains. So let's get, yeah, let's get 9. And they work just like the normal walls do for the most part. So place it down. Done with this level, maybe the next level up. Yeah, next level up. I just may move the floor of this room down one, just so I've got a bit more room to play with. But let's, there are drains. So I think the drain part of this part, is actually just a visual thing. But just because I want it to look right. Hey, let's just put them like this. And the same at the back. This is why you need lots of room for a smeltery. Yes, that's above enough. So we've got 3 on each side. And I still want 1 for the front. Because I still want to have my manually created stuff at the front, the stuff we've done before. So the drain's going to be here, into a basin, onto a table. So on that. And we've got 9 left. So all I'm going to do is, yeah. Whoops. And for the front, another couple of these and a seared window. In fact, do I have enough for that right now? Looks like it. 2 of those. And with a window. That's not good. Fine. Oh. Derp. Don't. It will scan through blocks, but yeah. Don't tempt fate. Don't put torches. There we go. 1, 2, and the window. Makes sense? Now, important part. Why am I doing this? Well, what I want to create is clear glass or smooth glass. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the two. Smooth glass. No, clear. Okay. And to do that, I'm just going to load it with glass. Now you see, because I've added these extra layers, it can hold quite a lot of glass. And, you know, as you can see, it's heating up and using the fuel. Now remember, there's our lava source. So if we ever need lava for the smelter, we can go into this wall, down about 12 to 15, through here and underneath here, and that's probably what I probably will do between the episodes. Nothing complicated there, it's just fluiducts and nothing else. So let's quickly put our basin back. The table needs to go here. Yeah, I may move this around between episodes just to neaten it up a little bit. It's not important right now. There's our ingot cast, and yeah, we'll probably move the other stuff indoors as well. Of course, we can't really cast ingots of glass. Well, I suppose we could, but yeah, I don't think it's an option. So what we actually need to do is something a little bit more elaborate. We want to have more of these basins, because these are good, and I'll show you why in a second once this is heated up. Nearly done. So more basins. And we'd want them like this. Seems reasonable. Temporarily, I'll just put one of these faucets on. We're not. That's not right. We're not going to be using faucets permanently, by the way. That's just a. That really does not like. Okay, there we go. We're not going to be using faucets. It's just to show you this. Yep, there we go. That's molten glass. What do we get from molten glass? Well, once the basin's filled up, and as you can see, this is filling quite slowly, and that's precisely the problem here. There we go. Clear glass. So let's just fill it up again. We want lots of this clear glass, just like we have upstairs the glass in the barrel. We actually kind of want clear glass as well. I'll show you why. There's 2. Okay, so here's regular glass. Yeah, like you'd expect. And here's clear glass. And the more clear glass you have, the other difference is if you break normal glass, it's gone. Break clear glass, you get it back. So this is connected textures, and native Minecraft has this, I believe, but this particular clear glass makes great use of it. There you go, see? It's ideal for roofs, all kinds of different buildings, greenhouses, whatever you want to keep things out of, but be able to see through. The only problem with it is the speed. If you want to create a lot, it's going to take a long time. And I certainly don't want to keep clicking on this thing. So what are we going to do? Well, I think we get to use our tanks again. Remember the portable tanks that we had right at the very start? Assuming I still have them. I do. Hardened. And I want a fluid duct. It'll do. And a bucket. Actually, I want a servo too. Do we have any spare? We have lots spare. Good. So, fluid duct. Tank. We may not need the servo, but I'm going to use it for a second. Input mode, so yeah, I only want one bucket's worth. It's just so that I can grab this. May seem a bit strange that I've got molten glass, don't worry about it. Because if I put this basin back, and now I hook up a fluid duct, I think. See, it's going to output into the basin. However, got to be a bit careful here because I'm going to use this for lots of different things. If I use this, I don't know, for molten gold or iron, if I just put this on output mode, it's going to output everything and drain every time there's something molten in there, which is okay, I suppose, but I don't really always want that. I often want ingots or tools and other things. So here we need to set a whitelist, and I want to whitelist molten glass, which is why there's a bucket of it. That means when I set this, only will it pour molten glass out, and it'll pour into this, which will then turn into normal glass, and the molten glass will back up behind it. With me so far? Now what we need to do is pull those items out, and it'll be, out of all these, it'll run all the back of here. We don't have to use impulse item ducts here, by the way. You can use regular ones because, let's face it, this isn't going to be, needing to be too fast through the ducts. That said, it's kind of fun to use, so let's just go and grab a few of those. And chest. Yeah, one of our iron chests will do just fine. So, impulse item duct chest. It's an input. So here we want this to be an output. And I have to hit this correctly. There we go. Okay. Obviously it isn't pulling out just yet, so we do need the servo. When you don't misclick. And yeah, we just say pull everything, and off it goes. There we go. Clear glass, and that's just one of them done. Off camera, I'm just going to hook up the rest and just hook it up to the same line, heading all the way around. Until we've effectively got a factory for glass making. And all we need to make sure then is either to feed the glass in, the sand in automatically, or we just feed we just put a hopper with a iron chest here and just put lots of sand in it. We don't necessarily need a full item duct from that upstairs. Just make them batches, I don't know, 10 stacks at a time. Yeah, see, I just grab another one of those chests, do this bit on camera. Yeah, actually, you should be fine. I don't think I'll need a hopper. So this will work for anything. I could replace the floor once this is done. So anything that goes into that chest will get fed in. So I can just dump all the sand. You'll see it's getting pushed to the top. Clicking on here, it's 8 blocks, 7 blocks. It takes time to actually get through this, and it's going to be back stuffed. So we can just leave that alone, fill in the rest of the blocks, and away we go. I may move this around between episodes, perhaps, not quite decided yet, but just neating it up. And we can go from there. And with a bit of tidying up, it looks just fine. I'll need to put covers in over here, but that's all fine. And I did confirm that this is just a visual thing. There are 2 faucets coming up, well, 1 fluid duct and 1 faucet coming out just fine with a single drain block. So if you wanted to, on each of the corners like that, like this one, you could have 2 drains, one pointing this way, one pointing sideways, and again around the 2 corners at the back. I'd even put more in, but on other levels if you really wanted to pull things very, very fast. Between episodes, I'm just going to hook up the lava because that's about to run out. And then I think that should be it, really. I mean, I can always click on that block down there to get to it if I need it. Yeah, we're done, really. Smeltery. So that's it for this episode. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do next. I'd like to get into Thorncraft because I'm sick of running this slow. These iron boots are very, very slow. Yeah, at least it may not seem like this to you right now, but when you see the contrast with what we're going to actually build, yeah, they will seem very, very slow from that point onwards. And even more so once we get the maybe quantum soup, maybe modular power suits. Not quite sure which one we're going to do next. You also need to get an assembly table running to get some good facades here to cover these up. So there's plenty to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next episode. If you'd like to make a comment, please leave them in the section below, or subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos. Thanks very much for watching.